People don't read anymore. Real learning should not be memorization, passing exams.
So now you say to watch Netflix, to do fun things.
Let them watch films, Kung Fu Panda.
Don't you think that there's a challenge?
Everything is a challenge. We are making a generation question challenge. Real learning should change you as a person.
Are you scared to speak in English? If yes, this is for you.
Beyond the Youth.
So to talk about this topic with me right now is Dr. Madhubhashini Ratnayake. She is a senior lecturer at the University of Sri Jawadanapura of the Department of English Language Teaching. So Doctor, I believe we have been talking about this English language. I believe you are in the university as well. So we have seen about how students struggle to speak in English, especially during presentations at the university. So why are we scared to talk in English and also to use English as a language?
I think we need to go right back into history when we discuss that problem, because English is a language that we got in a context of feeling inferior to another race. That's a basic problem, because if you think about it, the whole project of colonization happened when one group of islanders really, I mean, there were the Portuguese and the Dutch before that, but Britain had the longest impact on us in South Asia, and it's just an island, and there were very few people there, but they managed to conquer more than like half the planet. They also conquered our mind. They were capable of making us feel that we could never challenge them, right? And that mental incapacity is what made it possible for them to keep so many millions of people under their control. And I believe would mean that we never actually came out of that feeling of inferiority, because in 1948 when we got independence, I don't think we ever dislocated the place English speakers had in our society. The context of feeling inferior passed down decades to come down to us, and that prevents us from embracing this language wholeheartedly. And I always feel, because I work within the university system with young adults, that there is always an element of being unfaithful to your own culture if you embrace English completely or if you become English speakers. So this kind of contradiction within us, this conflict within us, makes English language learning and English language teaching very difficult in Sri Lanka.
So normally we talk about system change and we talk about changing the education system. So where can we change it from our education system to ensure that our people aren't scared in learning English?
The easiest way to change anything is when you start with the youngest people. But any kind of change should be deep rooted, thought about deeply, and it should be integral to what a person is, right? It shouldn't be a political phrase with a very quick decisions, quick results. So for me, changing the education system I won't talk about, because I have nothing to do practically there. So, but what I can do as a university lecturer is try and see where I can intervene to help people learn English better. Right now I work in the university system, but I always felt that was too late when you try to make you can, and of course you can teach them, but if we teach kids, if we teach nursery children, it's so much more easy. That is why I actually started this project called English for Fun, to make English sentences, exposure to English through song and storytelling and poetry possible through a digital platform to the very young people.
We live in a generation where we don't see a lot of people reading books during this time. But when it's come to your generation, we see a lot of people reading books and writing books and being creative and doing a lot of things. But we do a lot of things as well, a lot of different things. But during this time, we use a lot of AI, a lot of technology. So with this, don't you think that there's a challenge?
Everything is a challenge. See, the problem with AI and all that, we are making a generation question challenge. Challenge is what is making our brains grow. challenge is why humanity keeps progressing. Now, one of the biggest dangers I see is AI. AI is useful. We need it. We need it for technical stuff like writing emails, you know, the basic stuff. But if AI takes away our ability to think, and this is the danger, would mean sometimes when you ask a young person a question, the first instinct is to check on AI. That has to be secondary. You need to, especially in campus, I mean in a workplace, fine. But a university is a place where we teach them to be critical thinkers, we teach them to use their brains, and if it's not being used, if you have somehow figured out that the brain is now in your hands and on your phone, there's a huge danger in that. Because then this remains the same when you come and when you go. So this is why I'm saying campus, you actually say reading for a degree. You need to get them to read books. It's very difficult right now, so you start at nursery level. The challenge is Buddhim, I mean, if this fails, I would not know. If this succeeds, I wouldn't know either. I wouldn't be living. Now, in the Colombo Public Library, we bring the CMC nurseries from November last year and we teach them English. Not teach, we tell them stories. And we've now established what we call an English language acquisition center. So, thank goodness, Varuni Gangabodarachi gave me this beautiful space where we have stocked with English books. Of course, the library also has a lot. This has only English. It has maths, it has cushions, and we are hoping to get a reader with a little badge saying Bhasha Buddy, which means language friend, to read English if possible, and we will have a timetable ready soon. We are hoping to start on the 17th of May, so that there is one place in Colombo where people can take their kids to be exposed to storytelling, learning through fun, right? But we need the parents to actually bring it. It's actually easier to establish that and have volunteers, and this is all free, we are doing it everything free, than getting people to believe in the importance of this. And the final plan is the Colombo Public Library will be a model for those to be repeated in various areas of the country, so that even in a village, when a child has no chance to actually listen to an adult reading English, we might be able to activate the Grama Sevaka system and find English readers who I think might volunteer to come at least once a month and read to the children. So we have resources, Budhmin, we need to network, we need to get people volunteering their time to address a burning problem in this country, and I do believe in the goodness of people, and I think it's possible because this whole, it's running so far for about 3 years simply by people willing to give something back.
So now you say to watch Netflix, to do fun things, to do entertainment when it comes to learning. Don't you think that there is a, sometimes there is a saying that there is a talk in the society that we should follow the traditional ways of learning?
Learning, for me, happens best when it is fun. Real learning should change you as a person. Real learning should not be memorization, passing exams. That's a very technical thing you can do. Real education is when the person who started learning becomes a different person at the end of it. So, as a university lecturer, I know that our job is to make sure the person who comes in is a better person when he leaves, not somebody who could just manage to repeat what we have said and get good marks, right? Because even now the education system is such, they are looking for tuition classes or a certificate, whereas real education is the changing of a human being. If people start loving to learn, Budhmin, we have made a paradigm change in our education system, because a child who loves to learn, there is no keeping him back. But let them find their way to learn English. One of the best ways is let them watch films, Kung Fu Panda, whatever. Right now in our English language learning zone, the books that I have put are love stories, adventure stories, crime stories, Agatha Christie, stuff that you don't get in a university library. So one thing that we do is we go to the Colombo Public Library. This is the 3rd year. A friend of mine, Suramya Hettiarachi Pereira, and I, we go there every last Saturday, 2 to 3:30, and we read to them in English. We sing. There are songs, there are rhymes in the English for Fun website, and we dance with them. We make English a pleasant experience. But I do know that if we have given them some confidence, some love of using the language, we may have done better than a class, though we have nothing to prove it. Because if they have got confidence, it's not measurable. So our education system always asks us to measure. But some of the biggest changes which happens within a person would mean it's not measurable. You just got to trust it. So when I sometimes listen to people saying people don't read anymore, we should have started that addressing that problem 20 years ago. You can't address it now. That is why the English for Fun concentrates first on the nursery children, and of course because I am in the university system, we also have it at our level.
So before we wind things up, what is a message that you can give to our society and also to our children and also to our parents?
Trust in alternative methods of education also. The best way is reading. Get them to the libraries. I know there is a very powerful library system in this country. What I don't know is whether they have English books, but then you can, demand and ask them to. Believe in what reading does to a child. It opens up a universe to them. It opens up their imagination. It opens critical thinking. These are crucial to the whole process of education. So give them that gift, right? Because then who you will create is a whole person who is intelligent, critically aware, thoughtful, empathetic, right? But you have that chance if you make them readers, if you get them, now as an English teacher I can add, and if you can make them read English as well as their mother tongue, you also make them bilingual. So try.
Thank you so much, Dr. Madhubhashini Ratnayake, for joining with us today, and also thank you so much for doing a great service to our country and also to Sri Lanka in making a future with knowledge and also to making a future with a better society. Thank you so much and have a great night.
Beyond the Youth.